Hello, my name's Stuart. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm a classical record collector and I also sell classical records at my website there, lpclassical.co.uk. I'm based in the UK. And if you live in the UK, then you might want to have a look and see what I've got. I also sell overseas. Yeah, so I'm reviewing the Barchet Quartet. I really like this string quartet. Um, you know, I've been listening to them on and off for more than 30 years, and I'm going to be reviewing this record. It's a label it's a German label, Pantheon, made in Germany. On the actual jacket cover, it also says opera. So obviously, this is a string quartet record, not operatic. But I mean, if I look at the back of this jacket, what does it say on it? I'm not really good at pronouncing German here. Euro, Paischer, Phono Club, Verlags, GmbH. Well, I think GmbH is like limited, isn't it? Limited company. And then it actually gives the address, Stuttgart N. Oberer Hoppen Lauweg 28. I don't know, is that the address of this place, this company? So yeah, it's all in German on the back and everything, and so it's got Haydn and Mozart on it. Haydn's String Quartet, Opus 76, number 3, and then we got Mozart's Hunt Quartet, K458, two of the great classical string quartets. So first of all, I'm just going to play a short excerpt from Opus 76, number 3, the third movement, the minuet. Let's have a listen to that, and then I'll talk about the Barchet Quartet. Here we go. Okay, what did you think of that? Well, anyway, I really like the Haydn quartets, and the Opus 76 quartets are obviously some of his greatest. Haydn has got such a huge number of quartets. There are a lot of great treasures there to listen to, and I'm ashamed to say that I know relatively few of them. I really need to explore that a lot more. So I know the Mozart quartet's a lot better, but just to say that let me say something about the Barchet Quartet. So they're a German quartet. I'm getting this from Wikipedia, by the way. I've got no reason to believe that they're not a fair source on this. So the Barchet Quartet, founded 1952 in Germany. I'm going to read out. There's not much there. The following four musicians made up the ensemble: Reinhold Barchet, first violin. Now, Reinhold Barchet has appeared as a soloist on a number of records. I know that he's quite an interesting collectible artist. I think that he should be more recognized than he is. I think he's actually one of the best violinists from that era. So anyway, he's the first violin. He was the first concertmaster of the Stuttgart Chamber Orchestra from 1946 to 1952, and led the master class of his instrument at the academy, the sort of musical academy where he was teaching from 1955. As a soloist, he regularly undertook concert tours in Germany and abroad. Okay, Will Bay, second violin, was concertmaster of the Stuttgart Philharmonic Orchestra. Violinist Hermann Hirschfelder was a member of the Stroop Quartet, 1939 to 1951. I'm not familiar with that quartet. I'd love to know whether they've got anything on record. First solo violinist of the Berlin Philharmonic from 1945 to 1948, and professor at the Northwest German Music Academy in Detmold from 1948 to 1951. So Helmut Reimann was a cellist in the Zurich Quartet for 8 years. On the occasion of the complete recording of Mozart's 28 string quartets and 6 string quintets, the Barchet Quartet received the Grand Prix du Disque in 1959 The ensemble then reaped great success in Paris. On April 18th, 1961, um, the the Stuttgart Zeitung wrote about the Barchet Quartet. I think that must be a musical magazine or something. Okay, I'll read the quotation here because it's quite good. It's quite important what they were saying about this quartet then, because it resonates with me in terms of how I actually hear them when I listen to them, how good they are. If one considers that four concertmasters are united here who are accustomed to leading entire orchestras or groups, one is always amazed at the outstanding chamber music skills that make them one of the most convincing ensembles of this species. Intelligence and spirited musicianship are completely balanced. Yeah, well, that's what it amounts to, really. And of course, there were other quartets then. There was the Amadeus Quartet, the Budapest Quartet, the Hungarian quartets. It was awash with talent in those days, and a lot of them came out of either Russia or Germany. You know, some of the great, the great German tradition, which I often think that the closer in history that these musicians were to Mozart and Haydn, that, you know, somehow that adds a little kudos to them because of the proximity. They were closer to the, you know, the tradition than more recent musicians. And this sounds kind of old school, but it sounds very musical, and it's very appealing when you listen to it. You know, the melodies and the harmonies, the chatter between the instruments, the dialogues that are going on, and you know the little musical. The sense of humor in what Haydn does, and you know the lightness of spirit, and it's all, and the instruments sound absolutely flawless, very sweet and nice and everything. Um, I would really like to get more of these Pantheon records. I think they sound absolutely superb. I know that the Barchet Quartet, you can get the Mozart and the quintets and the string quartets, I believe, on Vox, Vox boxes. I'm looking around for those. I may have had them in the past. I very rarely found them in good condition in the old days, so I will be actively collecting these and trying to get hold of them, not for resale, but to keep myself, because I prize chamber music very highly, particularly Mozart, Haydn, Schubert. Um, yeah, so I will be looking out for the Barchet Quartet. I would like to know what you guys think. You know, um, what's your experience of the Barchet Quartet? They disbanded, of course, in 1962. It adds to the appeal because, you know, like some of those quartets, like I think the Amadeus Quartet, they went on for ages. They started, I think, in the 30s or 40s, and they went on all the way to the 70s. It's like they were together too long. And this quartet was together when they were all at their absolute musical peak. And so I think virtually everything that they've done is par excellence and really worth listening to. So I would recommend, if you see these around, if you ever see them around, if you're lucky enough to get hold of them, if you like chamber music, I think you'll really enjoy them. The fact that they're mono, believe it or not, doesn't bother me in the slightest. There's only four instruments there, and I mean the technology they were using in those days, yeah, it was valve technology. I mean, if anything, it sounds even nicer and sweeter to the ears than, you know, sort of recent digital recordings or even later analog recordings. It's an absolute joy to listen to. Okay, so that's me finished with singing praises to the Barchet Quartet and analog valve sound and everything. So let's just play out a minute from Mozart's Hunt Quartet. It's the first movement. We're going to hear more or less the final part of the first movement, and you won't be seeing me again. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video and look forward to doing another one again soon. Here comes the Barchet Quartet right now with Mozart K458.